Hey, what's up? I am muchelleby. It is so freaking hot in Australia right now. We're literally having a heat wave, so I'm trying to film this early in the morning so I don't die in this video. Oh, I hit 100k! Ah! How? I wanted to say a big, massive thank you to all of you who are subscribed. You know, some of you have been around for a very long time, like back since my nipple piercing video even. I say it all the time, but you guys know I appreciate you so much. I am so #blessed to have you. So today I am doing a quick Q&A. I put up a photo on Instagram and a bunch of you commented questions, and we're gonna get straight into it. The first question is from Madeline Kie. Love the 30-day challenge, yay, I'm so glad. Where do you buy your clothes? I love your style. Usually I go to Missguided, I go to ASOS, and I go to The Iconic. Monique Mary asked, have you struggled with mental health, or do you have any suggestions to make life a little brighter? Yes, I haven't really talked about it in many of my videos. It's something that I don't really talk about even to people in my actual life. Not that you guys aren't in my actual life, but friends and family. I don't want to make mental health struggles like a big part of my identity. If you've been around for a long time, you will have seen older videos where I talked about having anxiety, and as we all know, anxiety usually leads to other mental health issues. The anxiety that I experience is pretty situational. Usually I can control my circumstances enough so that I don't experience anxiety so bad. To help make your life a little brighter, figure out what makes you happy and then do more of that. Emily Leah asked, who are your favorite YouTubers? I actually don't consume YouTube as much as you would think that I do. YouTubers that inspire me, definitely Lavender, like ultimate babe. I love Cardi Milan, totally different vibe, but she is just beautiful. I love Simply Kenna aesthetic, like Rachel Oss as well. She is super inspiring and her vibe is just like on point. I'm going at this in a really weird order. What do you do for work and how do you make it the majority of your income? I've got like quite a few questions about my work. I can't really say where I work, but I work in learning and development, so which is like perfect for me, really. So I create online learning. It's usually compliance-based online learning, so it doesn't sound like super interesting, but I find it really enjoyable because I learn so much about really weird things. I'm just constantly learning new stuff. I fill my head with so much information and it's so interesting. Sophia Errington asked, what made you go minimal? And at what age did you realize it was best? So I only started my journey into minimalism like start of last year. And what made me go to minimal? I think it was just a desire to change my life. Simplify my life, really. Mocha Fig asked, you always look cheerful and positive in your videos. When life gets tricky, what keeps you going? I want to like dispel a fallacy. This is something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Something that you've got to keep in mind when you're watching a YouTuber's videos is that YouTubers have like 5 minutes every week to put forward the best version of themselves. I want to get real for a second. I get a lot of comments saying like, wow, like you are so positive all the time. You're so cheerful. Like you're permanently happy. I want to be like that. It's kind of just like if you had a 5-minute conversation with someone every week, usually you put your best foot forward in a conversation and you know, you remain positive and upbeat and everything like that. And it's not to say I'm like a super down person that's like so negative. It just worries me. I don't want anyone to think it's not even just me, it's any YouTuber. I've gotten into that trap of watching YouTubers and being like, wow, like they're so put together and they're so positive all the time, and it can drive you mental. Like that's not the way it is. It's the same with Instagram. Like you're putting your best foot forward for a short piece of time every single week. I just went on a complete tangent. And when life gets tricky, I am lucky enough to have like an amazing support team. I have an amazing partner. My close friends are like beyond. I'm really lucky that I have that support team. I feel like they are definitely like my go-to as soon as life gets tough. Hannah asked, would you consider starting your own podcast? I get this question all the time. I don't know, maybe in the future, probably not anytime soon. I just don't have the time for it right now. Jennifer asked, how do you manage to have a YouTube channel and a full-time job on the side? I had a few questions about this. It is tough managing a YouTube channel when you have a full-time job. You definitely have to sacrifice and you have to be willing to make the time. From the start, I've been pretty focused. Even when I only had like a few subscribers, I was like, okay guys, sorry, like can't hang out on Saturday, I've got to film a video. So I think that's just kind of how I work, and then I try to make time during the week to plan my videos. It's just about prioritizing. So Ashley asked, how has YouTube changed you personally? I feel like many people can be positively influenced by the platform, but others not so much. I think YouTube has like been a big reason for all of the changes in my life for the past few years, because it's almost like a form of accountability. Like I did, you know, the life-changing magic tidying up and decluttering, but I also had you guys watching, so I feel like having that expectation of like, yeah, well, I've got to release another video on that series made me kind of do it. I don't know if I would have done it without YouTube. So Teacher Girl 91 asked, can you tell us more about your everyday job and how you came to be doing it? How I came to be doing it. So I actually got a traineeship out of school. It was literally an administrative officer traineeship. I worked in that for like a year, maybe even 2. And then it was just a matter of working my way up. So showing initiative and being put into other higher positions and then moving my way up from there. And then people at work know that I do YouTube on the side. So I guess they recognize that I had talents there, and then they moved me over to the section that I'm in now. So it was all just a natural progression, really. I never set my sights on going into online learning design. I didn't even really know that that was a thing that you could get a job in. So I wish I could tell you like the actual path to get there, but that's kind of how I fell into it. I had a lot of questions about my workout routine. You guys, I'm so crap with my workout routine. It's something that I need to ramp up in 2017. Pretty much like the only working out that I enjoy doing is running. I don't enjoy like class settings. They freak me out. I had a good running routine going for a while there, like a while ago now, and then I just stopped. You guys should definitely hold me accountable to that. Comment on all my videos of being like, how's your workout routine going, Michelle? Like, have you been running lately? No, don't do that. CPLTLY Alice said, how do you feel knowing people from all around the world follow you? I'm from France, by the way. Love your videos. Thank you so much. It's crazy. The amount of people from different places that follow me around the world is just absolutely insane. It boggles my mind. I get a lot of comments from people around the world saying that I talk really fast and I need to slow it down. I'm sorry. I don't know how to change the pace of my voice. I'm just a really fast talker naturally. I think it's actually an Australian thing, or it might just be a me thing. Kate Antonine Foster said, have you thought about going zero waste? What do you think about this lifestyle? I dig it. I think obviously it's a great way to go. I haven't actually seriously considered it, but I would definitely read up on it. Rebby Ting asked, how did you change your whole room to be minimal? Like, didn't you used to have an old theme? Yeah, I guess I did have an old theme. I know what I like and I do a lot of Pinteresting, so I know what I'm into, and just gradually I bought pieces here and there and it's all just worked together. Wanna Be Your Live said, what makes your heart happy and what is your biggest fear? Love from Europe. I love that question. What makes your heart happy? Things that make my heart happy. Reading books in the sun with a juice with Luke. Talking to really interesting people about really interesting topics that I never necessarily cared about before, but hearing how passionate they are makes me care. Meeting new people that actually have common interests with me. That is surprisingly hard. Being in nature, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. What is your biggest fear? One of my biggest fears is definitely getting like a crippling disease. I don't know where it comes from. I don't have any experience with that in my life, but it's just something that's like in the back of my mind. Or getting Alzheimer's, that's a big one as well. Grandma had Alzheimer's, ugh, can't deal. Different lifestyles are asked, how many items of clothing do you own and how often do you do laundry? I have no idea how many items of clothing that I own. I feel like not that many. And I usually just do laundry once a week. I don't own so few clothes that I need to do laundry multiple times a week because I know that I wouldn't be able to deal with that. When are you going to pick up channel notes again? I had a few questions about channel notes. If you didn't know, I have a second channel all about doing YouTube. I'll link it in the description down below. I haven't gotten intentional about when I'm going to go back to channel notes again. I found it a bit too overwhelming to manage 2 channels at the same time. That being said, I loved making videos on there and I know people found it really, really useful. But sadly, I can't make any promises. It's just about what I am able to manage personally while still living life. Adelina Knapp asked, what is your favorite quote? There's been a few over time. Nothing can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt always has been a fave. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. One that I have been playing over and over again in my head recently is stop trying to impress others with the things that you own. Begin inspiring them by the way that you live. For some reason, I keep on going back to that quote in my head. It just really resonated. Isabella Ione asked, do you think that as time goes on you'll eliminate more things in your life, or do you believe you'll stay relatively the same as you are now? I don't think that I'm ever going to go through another massive decluttering. I just don't see that happening. But I think as time goes on, I'm sure that I'll look at things around my space and gradually discard them. I just think that after minimizing, my spending habits have changed so significantly. I don't bring in any more crap, or I definitely bring in a very reduced amount of crap. In saying that, I'm hoping in March, I think my mom is going to go through the Severe Life Challenge, so I'm pretty pumped for that. I almost want to vlog it because The amount of stuff that my parents have is insane. Like, you should see the contrast between my room and their space. It's hectic. I might Snapchat the process when we get to it. Maddie Owen asked, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self? Advice that I would give my 18-year-old self, for sure, it would be like, dude, you need to up your standards when it comes to males in general and the way that you're treated in relationships. Mary Hatter asked, favorite fiction or non-minimalism book? Definitely, like, favorite fiction book has got to be Harry Potter, because that's just, you know, like, who doesn't have that as their favorite book? But if you're looking for a good book, The Name of the Wind, that got me sucked in so bad, but I do have to pre-warn you, there is not an end book in that series and it will kill you, but it's a really good series. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you would have seen that I've just picked up a new book, and that is called The Way of Shadows. They all have really similar names, like in the fantasy genre. Pretty much all of the books that I read are recommended by my partner. So whenever I need something to read, I'm just like, hey Lou, like, what's up? Give me a book recommendation. And usually has like 5. It's good. Cat Slash said, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Happy. I don't really have a 10-year plan, but in my head there are a few definites. Like, I'm definitely with Luke. I definitely live in like a big airy space, and I definitely have a lot of free time, and I have a slow living kind of life. She also asked, if you had to listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? That is the hardest question. Probably Childish Gambino. I'm a big Childish Gambino fan. Beth and Winbank asked, looking back, what is the one moment in your life other than discovering minimalism that really changed the course of the rest of your life? I feel like my life would look extremely different if I hadn't started a YouTube channel. Like, I don't know that for sure, but I have a feeling. Meeting my partner, there are so many little things. I think every one of those like decisions has made a massive difference in the course of my life. Angela Seola asked, what is the greatest lesson that minimalism has taught you? Definitely to concentrate less on your possessions, concentrate more on your life. Madzia Sawika asked, don't you ever want to wear something crazy, like some bright colors or clothes which are not minimalistic at all? I don't know, not really. I've never felt like an urge to wear like a rainbow dress or anything like that. It's just not me. Alright, I hope this video wasn't too long. I tried to answer the questions that had like the most likes, and I sort of went through it randomly, so I am sorry if I missed your question. I appreciate you guys so very much. Follow me on Instagram. If I ever do a Q&A in the future, it's going to be through an Instagram post, so if you want to be involved, follow me on Instagram in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you so freaking much, and I will see you next week.